Power plant. Ignition and starting systems. What is the purpose of a magneto? A magneto produces a high voltage that forces a spark to arc across a spark plug gap. What are the three major circuits of a high-tension magneto system? Magnetic, primary, and secondary. What are the components of a high-tension magnetic circuit? A permanent multi-pole rotating magnet, soft iron core, and pole shoes. In terms of the engine crankshaft position, when does the ignition event occur? A specified number of crankshaft degrees before top dead center on the compression stroke. Where is the E-gap position in a magneto? A few degrees beyond magnetic neutral. What is the purpose of the capacitor in a magneto? The capacitor prevents arcing at the points and aids in the collapsing of the magnetic field. What happens when a magnetic rotor is in the E-gap position and the primary breaker points open? The flow of current in the primary circuit stops and a high rate of flux change occurs in the core, inducing a pulse of high voltage in the secondary or the spark plug fires. When an ignition switch is off in a magneto system, what is the condition of the ground circuit? The circuit to ground is completed. What is the purpose of using two magnetos in an engine's ignition system? System redundancy and improved combustion efficiency. Which magneto is grounded when the magneto switch is selected to the right magneto? The left magneto circuit. What are the three events required to fire a spark plug in a cylinder when its piston is in the prescribed position? Magneto in E-gap position, breaker points opening, and the distributor electrically aligned with that cylinder. What does a magneto timing light indicate? It indicates the exact instant that the magneto points open. What is the main concern when preparing a magneto for installation? Internal timing. Are turbine engine spark igniters generally susceptible to carbon fouling? Explain. No, because the high energy sparks they produce clean off any deposits that form on the firing end. The remaining service life of the brushes typically used in many starter generators can be determined by visual inspections of what? The amount of wear groove remaining on the brushes. What is the function of a duty cycle in relation to a turbine engine ignition system? A duty cycle allows the operation of the ignition system for a given amount of time to be followed by a minimum specified cooling down period. What are typically the three main components of turbine engine ignition systems? Ignition exciters, high tension leads, igniters. Name three sources of high volume, low pressure compressed air commonly used for starting jet transport aircraft equipped with air turbine starters. An onboard auxiliary power unit, a ground power unit, and compressor bleed air from an already running engine. Between field and armature windings and starter generators, which ordinarily receive current for operation in the start mode. Generally, both the field and the armature receive current for operation in the start mode. Name two parts of a starter generator that commonly requires periodic inspection to ensure that they do not wear beyond operational limits. The commutator and brushes.